What's up, guys? This is Lucid Rain, and so we're talking about another Reddit post. Well, this isn't a subreddit this time. This is just a post and a Redditor. So this started with a Reddit post that said, to those who've accidentally killed someone, what happened? Like, how did it happen? And this guy, they got a bunch of comments. I don't know. A lot of them were probably like trolling, but I'm sure some of them were true, or at least this guy's was probably true. And this one guy said, yeah, one time, like, he didn't kill this guy, but he was playing in on a hill, like, which was like their hideout. They were kids. They just had like a little hill that was just where they played at, and this kid fell off of that and landed in a really weird position apparently, and he had like blood coming out of him, and like they were just freaking out, so they just ran away. They didn't tell anyone, they just ran away. And yeah, this that was his story. And that's like, okay, like, that's pretty fucked up, but whatever. Okay, so someone comments and says, are you talking about Scott Cleashalty, which is the kid's name, that they think is the kid's name, from this case? And he immediately deletes his account. Like, well, it wasn't just one guy who commented about that. It was a couple people who commented, is this Scott? Like, so he deleted his account, and everyone's just like, that's really suspicious. And if you look into this case, oh, he also mentioned in the post that he was a mentally disabled kid. If you look up Scott, he is a mentally disabled kid who died on a... Well, he was seen going to a hill before he disappeared. And, yeah, so they think this guy was involved in that, and he probably was, because he just didn't want to be involved, deleted his account, said fuck that. So, what do you think about that? Do you think he's just some guy, like, if that's just a coincidence?
Well, I'd say it's pretty impossible to tell with that given information.
Yeah,
it's 100% speculation at that point, and all you have to base it off of is a story that was probably easily found in a newspaper or an article that was easily, viewed on a link. So someone could have came across that and then explained those details to like someone else's point of view.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then instantly you're gonna think, wow, they were definitely there, especially when you're that vague about it.
Yeah. So, are you saying he's like, he knew about that case prior, and he's kind of like purposely, like putting things that relate to that case so that you can come to that conclusion? Because that's a possibility. He could be doing that.
Yeah, I mean,
Reddit's full of trolls, so he could definitely be doing that.
You could say that that's a reach, but is it more of a reach to say somebody looked up a case and decided they want to mess with people? Or is it more of a reach to say that someone spoke after all these years and are on Reddit and randomly going to tell everyone that?
Yeah, I mean, at the same time, he could definitely be like, it could be eating away at his conscience, like just thinking about how he didn't do anything about this kid's death. And like maybe he was just itching to tell someone, like, I don't know. I can see that being a possibility. And it wasn't just him, it was a couple kids who ran away and didn't say anything. So I would imagine all those kids are thinking about that in the back of their mind, like how they just left the kid to die, like, and they knew exactly what happened. They just didn't say anything. And apparently this kid is still being looked for today, which is like, it's been this was in like the 90s, so it's been like almost 30 years, which is like kind of crazy. And like this post was, I'm not sure when the post was right now. I'd have to look it up, but it was pretty recent, like the post, the past few years. So after all this time, he says, you know, yeah, I was there. This kid died, blah 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 blah, and people still connected it to that case from like nearly 30 years ago. He probably wasn't expecting that if he was actually involved in the case. I mean, how would you expect some random guy on the internet to be like, to know about that case? Like, that's just really unlikely, but apparently that happened.
Well, I think they're both so like unlikely that whichever one it is, you'll just say, oh, it makes sense. You know?
Yeah, right.
Like, both of them are kind of weird, just, you know, kind of unexplainable type of thing.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way to tell. But yeah, like a few people have covered this on YouTube because it was like, they were like, oh wow, he really just deleted his account. It's really suspicious. And I don't know, usually when people troll like that, if that was a troll, they like the attention from it, so they don't really just delete their account and stop getting. Well, I mean, that calls the attention, but they'd want to continue getting attention. That's usually what a troll does.
They probably have more than one account anyway, so
that's true.
You not? Especially if you're just in that that thread watching it, you know, everyone's going to be speculating and talking about it way more.
That is true, yeah.
Your account. So if you're looking for views and looking for attention and kind of just, you know, something big like that, it makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I mean, because you deleted, now it's all a conspiracy, and everyone's like,
yeah, right. You know? Everyone's just looking like, okay, that's really weird, that's really strange, and he's on a second account just watching that Reddit post, watching everyone just feed into it. Apparently the reason, I don't know if I said this, the reason they didn't find his body was because a storm came in afterwards, and apparently, like, I don't know, washed away his body or something like that. The storm made his body like unfindable. And what's weird about the case is like they tracked his scent with dogs for like 5 miles, but the hill he was on was like a mile away. So like that's kind of odd. And the guy didn't say anything about a storm in the story, but that explains why they would not have like found him. So yeah,
well,
I don't know.
Also, if you're gonna pick a case, you probably don't want one where they found the person, because
yeah, right.
If you're trolling and it's unsolved, but they found the person and saw, and you say details about it, you're it doesn't matter if you delete your account or not. You're pretty much fucked.
You're probably. I mean, I don't know. Like, could they still track you if you deleted an account? I'm sure they could. I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure they would probably put a search warrant on Reddit's database.
Yeah, right.
And ask them what the user is and say, like, you know, I think privacy laws have a certain extent until you're theorized that you committed a crime. Yeah. Yeah,
right. And so, first of all, people archive and screenshot everything, so your name is easily not going away. Like, his name was like, it was just a bunch of letters and numbers. But I'm sure if they go to Reddit, like Reddit headquarters, I don't fucking know. Just they could find him in their banks somehow. Like, I'm sure they could. But I think it's pretty difficult because there was another case about someone on Instagram. They were trying to find someone through Instagram, and it took them like 3 months just to get the ability to be allowed to search through Instagram's their personal details about people. It took them a long time to get the ability to do that. So I think it's like a pretty difficult thing, honestly. 'Cause I mean, social media, even though privacy is slowly going away every day, they still try to have you some privacy. Like you can't just have the average person just seeing your personal information just from your username alone. Like that would be fucked up. So
yeah, I don't know. It's kind of I'm pretty sure it's a clear cut. I don't think it's the real person. It just seems too far fetched.
yeah, I mean it is probably really far fetched, but yeah, he gave some specific detail. Yeah, I mean it is probably more likely that he's just trolling. Especially knowing Reddit, like that's like what it's known for. So also this is another thing, but like I wouldn't expect like someone like say you make that Reddit post like, all right, if you've accidentally killed someone, how did it happen? Like what happened? I wouldn't want to talk about that. I don't think anyone would want to talk about that. Like,
yeah, are you ever really anonymous on the internet? Like, not really.
you're not 100. You're never 100% anonymous, but you're like you could be anonymous to like the majority of people that see your posts. Like, if I was someone on there, I was like, hey man, I accidentally killed my brother, and it's been haunting me to this day. I don't know, like, I just want to say something about that, dude. First, you can no, you can't be anonymous on Reddit, can you? Or can you?
I mean, I guess you put a name and you use a fake email.
Yeah, right. But you
Like,
can't be like 100% not like you can't just not have a username, so people will know who you are. Not who you are, but you know what I mean.
well, it's weird too because like there are websites that you can use fake emails, where you can use the email for like a certain amount of days, and then it just vanishes. But like Google, different stuff like that. Like I tried to make a Gmail with like a temporary email just to see if I could, and it would not let me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because
That's
I don't know. You remember that YouTube series that I was doing?
Yeah.
That's why, because I had to make like a random email, but it would have been even better if it was like.
So you can't make an email if it's a temporary thing already?
Yeah.
Or something?
So I would assume you can't use that email for websites that like you have to log in and out.
Yeah,
like that,
right.
unless it's like a
Okay.
third party type of deal.
Okay. I didn't know that. I assumed they would just let you do it. Email's an email. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't really know if it's true or false, and I wouldn't begin where to start with it.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Reddit is like, there's always people there. Like, people there know, like, everything. Like, you'll be like, you can type in, like, that subreddit, like, tip of my tongue or whatever it's called. You can type in something, and if it's a real thing, people most likely, if people see it, at least, if people don't see it, it's a different story. But if people see it, and it gets traction, and people are trying to figure out what it is, they will find out what it is, if it's a real thing. Like, it's kind of crazy, just the people on there, how they just have the ability to find this stuff. Like, it's kind of nuts. Because it can be so obscure. People have found so much obscure shit. Like, and I was
they
just
didn't
sitting there
find
like,
out.
how?
They didn't find out my thing, and they didn't even. Well, they didn't even attempt to. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I said if it gets traction. That didn't get traction, really, unfortunately.
Yeah, I still want to know what that is.
Yeah, right. For those who don't know, we put a post on the tip of my tongue subreddit about, what was it, a toy, like an action figure or
Yeah.
something. Yeah, and like we were like, oh, what is this action figure. Like what is this connected to or whatever, and it was like no one really commented. It got like maybe two comments, and that was it. And then those 2 comments were wrong anyway. I mean, I wouldn't really expect them to be correct, but you know.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
weird because it's like if you tried to look it up, first thing that you're gonna see is Black Panther because that's such a recent thing and it is popular in pop culture. So like I don't even think
yeah,
that I would be able to search it and come anywhere close to finding it just because it's from
because it's
so
so
long ago and there's a
yeah,
lot of stuff that is kind of taken in with the name Panther. Like uh, Panther Lily and all sorts of
yeah, and like you said, it's like so old, so that immediately makes it pretty hard to find, I think.
yeah, I really just wish I could find that, to be honest with
Yeah, like there was one guy on there, like you know this, but I'm saying for the people watching, there was like a guy saying, "What character does this strawberry look like?" And it was literally a picture of a strawberry, like just a weird looking strawberry, and people were just like, he's just like, "Who does this look like?" And people were just saying all these. I think someone actually said something where the guy was like, "Yes, that's what I was thinking of." Like as crazy as that is, like as vague as that is, someone had his answer. Like that's just crazy.
Yeah, there was some stuff that was interesting.
I guess that would be really hard to find because there's so many toys out there, and some of them are very obscure. Like some of them are pretty underground, and probably are only in a certain state or something like that. Only were manufactured, like only a few of them. So, like that's definitely possible that it's just very obscure, and you just probably won't find it because it's kind of a
Yeah, I
local thing.
mean, it could be a little local thing that maybe it was at a random store that, like a random comic book store somewhere. I mean, I don't know where it was. So I just remember someone giving it to me, and there was a website connected on the back, and it was like a dope website. And I went on the website, and it was like a jungle theme, and like you know how early 2000s websites were. They were pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
And then people are gonna say Thundercats, He-Man, but like it's
yeah,
not any of that stuff. It was an actual panther that was bipedal that was wearing like uh I don't know, like how in the Coliseum gladiators wore like a skirt made out of leather, or like you
yeah,
see like
yeah,
uh Southern American warriors or like African warriors, they have like or even like Pacific Island warriors. They have kind of like a skirt type of thing that's leather, and then like it has like in it he had one of those on, but like it was like a big first like arrow pointed thing, and then it had like a giant skull on the belt or something, or like a gem, and it was like a straight up panther, like just on 2 feet. It was dope as fuck.
yeah. I feel like if that post we posted on Reddit, if that got some traction, I think people would definitely find it. Just because you said it was connected to a website, and it's like, how many toys are really connected to websites like that? I mean, it could be a lot for all I know, but I feel like it's not that many to my knowledge. So I think people would definitely find it.
Yeah, I mean,
I
I
don't.
just been wanting
Sorry.
to figure out what that is because it was a dope toy.
I honestly, I don't know how you go about getting a Reddit post to get noticed, because every time you post something on there, it's like most of the time no one even comments or anything, but you see these posts from completely random people with like hardly any posts. Like sometimes it's their first post on a subreddit, and they just get tons of comments and upvotes. Like I don't know how
Yeah.
they do that. I guess it's just random. I don't know. I
Yeah,
guess it's
I'm
literally
sure it's just
random.
random. I'd probably bet that that's what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I really do want to find out what that is because it was cool and like it's just part of childhood that
Yeah, right.
I feel like if I could see that again, I'd be like, wow, unreal.
Yeah, right.
So if anyone knows what we're talking about, put it in the comment section.
Yeah, I mean, doubtful, but maybe. Do you want to talk about fake ass Randonautica?
Yeah, we can.
I'm just gonna talk about the most not important, but the most notable thing that happened with that app. So, if you don't know what Randonautica is, it's an app that gives you random coordinates that are close by, uh, just completely random, or so people think. They may not be random, according to conspiracy theorists. But it's like you can set what you're looking for. So you can say, are you looking for death? Are you looking for? It's a bunch of negative ones like Satanism, cults, and like I don't even know if there's any positive ones. I haven't actually been on the app, but yeah, there's a bunch of things like that. So you can set which one of those you want to look for, and you go there, and people have found like really weird shit. Like one guy found a small town full of mannequins, which was like really odd and like a little creepy, and there was shit like moving around them, like there was just like stuff falling from hills and shit like that, like as if someone was there watching them or something. So that was weird. But the most notable one was someone literally the app literally led them straight to a suitcase full of body parts, and like they called the cops. It was confirmed, like it's a real thing, and it wasn't faked at all. You can look it up, but yeah, the app led them straight to that. So they were like, "That's really weird." Like out of all places that app could have led them, it led them there. So that's really odd. But there's a bunch of other stuff that people have seen, but it's all really exaggerated. Like it's mostly on TikTok too, which is it's TikTok, so it's like does it really have some credibility there? But I think the only one that was those two are the only ones that maybe like have some credibility to them. All the other ones are really exaggerated and stupid as shit. I don't know. I think it's a dumb app.
I think it's a huge coincidence that they found something and there's really nothing to that. I think
yeah, I'm sure. I think
the worst place at the worst time.
Yeah. I think they literally made that app just to like just hoping it would randomly blow up and people would use it, and people did use it. I don't know why. I don't know why you would use something that just takes you to a random location. Like that doesn't sound fun at all. Obviously, you're just gonna go there and find nothing. Like what? Like that's because it takes people to places.
Might find an adventure.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's about the journey and not what you find at the end of it.
Well, that's what they usually say, right? It's about the journey, not the destination.
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe that's the point of the app.
I see. I mean, there's a good philosophy in that.
Yeah. I don't know. It's something I wouldn't try, like, just because I feel like it's a huge waste of time. But I don't know. If it was, like, leading a lot of
risk.
Yeah, it's also, like, it's a little dangerous, honestly. Going to a random place that's sometimes, especially if it's dark out and shit, like some of these people are doing it. That's a little dangerous to be going to these random coordinates that you're not familiar with. But the chances are you're probably going to be familiar with them because it only stretches out a few miles. It doesn't go out that far, to my knowledge. I don't think it goes out that far. I'm pretty sure it stays within just a few miles of where you are at that moment. So I think it's just a huge waste of time. Chances are you'll end up somewhere you've been at before for no reason at all. And that's trash. Shitty app. Like,
Well, have they found anyone that has got a location and said, nope, I'm not going to it? What happens then? Anything?
what do you mean? Like, they got a location and they just didn't go to it?
Yeah.
I don't know. There's probably a lot of people who have done that, I guess.
So it's nothing paranormal then?
I don't know. I mean, some people seem to think that it's no coincidence that those few people have found weird shit. But
Well, let me say this too. It's kind of weird. So, is technology has become more ingrained in our society. I've noticed, like, movies and horror movies and whatnot kind of directly try and play on that, and all of a sudden, like, you're watching a movie that's about an app, and there's multiple of them that are horror movies that are literally about apps.
yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, in this day and age, that's like, it's relatable. Like, that's why people are using it in media, because, like, I don't know, everyone has experiences like using technology and maybe using an app like that, like just fucking around, like, so.
Yeah, I don't know. And this isn't connected to Randonautica, but basically, the Panther toy honestly kind of looked like Panther Warrior from Yu-Gi-Oh, but like just vaguely similar.
The what Panther toy?
The Panther toy that we were talking about before.
Oh, yours?
Yeah, it looks kind of like
okay.
Panther Warrior, except like, just vaguely. It's not Panther Warrior because theirs came in Yu-Gi-Oh boxes, not a box with a bunch of like jungle, like jungle theme, and then it had like, I think, a tiger and a leopard or jaguar on the back. It's figures too, so like, really why I want to find out so bad is because I want to find what the other figures look like too, because I only had one of them.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool to see what the other ones look like, probably. Does Yu-Gi-Oh have like figures though? I'm pretty sure they just only have cards, right?
No, they have figures.
Oh, okay.
But
I've never seen those.
Was big, it was like not just a tiny little Yu-Gi-Oh figure. It actually had like, it was big enough to fit in your hand. Yeah.
Yeah, right. I just looked up Panther Warrior. It's literally just like a panther with a sword.
Yeah, I mean, I've spent a fair amount of time searching, and I think I might have just found something similar. I don't know. We'll look and see. What the fuck? Yo, what the fuck? This is kind of similar, so who knows? I'm gonna search it. I'm sorry that I'm searching this in the middle of the podcast.
You're fine. So, I just randomly came across this. There's this guy who wants $10 million for this Yu-Gi-Oh card. Printed on stainless steel. The card's called Tournament Black Luster Soldier. It was given to the winner of the nationwide Yu-Gi-Oh tournament in Japan in 1999, so it's really old. Yeah, and someone's trying to sell this for $10 million, so it is rare, but that's a little much.
What was it?
Tournament Black Luster Soldier. That's the card.
Yeah, I don't know much about Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
I don't know either. Jesus Christ. These are sold for an insane amount of money. Like, besides that, there's some other ones that are sold for like $7,000. $115. That's not too bad for a rare card. Jeez, dude, $400? Like, Jesus Christ. $300? God damn. I didn't know Yu-Gi-Oh cards actually had value like that. Well, I guess that's like anything. Just it gets old and it just goes up in value. I don't know. Well, guys, this was Lucid Rain. Hope you enjoyed. All right, now I'm recording.
I dropped my phone.
Fantastic start to the episode.
Hey guys, you are now listening to Lucid Rain Podcast, aka the podcast with 35 names.
Yes.
Today we're going to be doing a bunch of stuff. We're going to learn how oxygen is turned into carbon dioxide. That's O2.
Okay.
How does oxygen gain another oxygen? Is it magic? Yeah, that's just one thing we're going to talk about.
Nah, I don't think that's what we're gonna talk about.
Oh man, okay.
Are we Vsauce now?
Yeah, Vsauce Jr. All right, sorry. So let me give you some quotes here, right? Sometimes I'll start a sentence and I don't even know where it's going. I just hope I find it along the way. Thoughts?
I mean, that's a fair statement. Kind of believe in that.
Okay. I wish there was a way to know you were in the good old days before you've actually left them.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Does that make you feel nostalgic? Do you connect with that at all?
I don't know. Not really. But I can see people who can.
What about this? The worst thing about prison was the Dementors.
What it? What does that mean?
Yeah, Dementors. Yeah, Harry Potter.
I don't know Harry Potter like at all.
They're basically like fucking ghouls.
Oh.
Ghoul wasp. But would I rather be feared or loved? Easy. Though I want people to be afraid of how much they love me.
I guess that's an interesting view on that.
Abraham Lincoln once said that if you were a racist, I will attack you with the North. And these are the principles I carry with me in the workplace. What the fuck?
Well, all right, Abraham Lincoln.
All right. That's accurate, I guess, right?
I guess.
Fact checker. We need a fact checker. We need a higher editor. Fact checker. Oh, okay. Let me give you like three more because this one's there are a couple good ones. Yeah.
All right.
As it turns out, you can't just check someone into rehab against their will. They have to do it voluntarily. They have to hit rock bottom. So I think I know what I need to do at this point. I need to find ways to push Meredith to the bottom. I think I can do it.
What the fuck? Okay.
So clearly that's an office quote, just having the name on it. But yeah. This is sort of that is sort of an Okie afterbirth.
What? What does that mean?
I don't know. What does it mean?
I have no idea.
How about this? I'm an early bird and I'm a night owl, so I'm wise and have worms.
Ew.
Man.
Yeah, I guess I am a fan of that.
You're a fan of worms? I think that's pretty cool. Yeah, cool
Yeah.
eating. Yeah. Now let me give you one It's a scene, and I'm gonna reenact it, and you tell me if you know what show it's from.
I probably won't, but alright.
Well, he's like aliens are shooting lasers. Hit the carbonator. I'm gonna try and refucculate it and fly to Juniper and get some space weed.
I have no idea.
Did you hear what I said?
Yes.
Repeat it real quick, just so I know you heard it.
No, I heard it. I mean, I don't know. I don't know exactly how you phrased that.
We're gonna fly over to Juniper and get some space weed.
Okay.
It's Trailer Park Boys. It's a classic scene
Never
of
saw that movie.
they get a rocket, and then in the rocket there's like a jumpsuit, NASA jumpsuit, and Bubbles is like descent,
What?
and then they start playing Spaceman, and Ricky's like alien.